sometimes Mouse, sometimes Andy, kind of depends on the day of the week. I talk about books and book-related things, and today I'm going to be talking about the Cute Mutants tag. I need to probably grab the Cute Mutants books, though, to talk about the Cute Mutants tag. Give me 1 second. Before I get into the tag, I do want to talk about the books a little bit. So these are the Cute Mutants books. They are by S.J. Whitby. They are not graphic novels. This is a really common mistake. These are my favorite Gabies. I love them all dearly. S.J. basically supports my need for crumbs of content and has allowed me to both beta and alpha read some of their drafts for some of the other books in this series. So I'm very excited about the 4th book coming out on April 6th. This book tag is kind of in support of that. Additionally, if you haven't seen already on Twitter, I am running a reread along. It started on the 14th, so this is quite a while later, but essentially it is a schedule for rereading. You could probably catch up with us. The entire schedule is on Twitter, but I will try and include it maybe next to me here. I don't know. Additionally, this is not my normal setup, and I'm well aware I am in the middle of moving, so I'm very sorry in advance for the chaos. Cute Mutants is essentially about these teenagers who wake up one morning after a party and find out that they have mutant powers. These aren't your standard mutant powers. Our main character, Dylan, essentially can talk to inanimate objects and they talk back. So that's fun and confusing. And basically it's about how they manage being both queer and also mutants, and how the government and religions they're not super into that. I don't want to spoil the books though, so I'm just going to give you that quick summary. It basically gets darker and darker with each book, and I love it. So the first book is pretty lighthearted and amusing and fun to read, and then things just get more and more drastic as you read on. And I think that that's a really good way to bring people in and read it. These books are the books I wish I had had when I was a teenager. I wish I had had access to these conversations as a teenager. I think they would have given me a lot more food for thought and conversations, so I've been recommending them left and right to everyone. I have some friends who are not book readers, and they've read them and they love them. So if you haven't read the Cute Mutant series, this is definitely the opportunity to go out and do that. They're not very expensive on digitally on Amazon, so if you want to read those and check that out, I definitely recommend. Alright, let's get into this tag. The tag was primarily created by Art, aka Ink and Plasma, aka my best friend. You guys have probably heard me refer to her 1,000 times by now. Their blog is inkandplasma.com, or she can be found pretty much everywhere as Ink and Plasma. So she also started the Queer Book Club and helps me run Clear Your Shit. So obviously she's a fantastic human being. She helped, or pretty much came up with the idea of the Cute Mutants tag. Me and one other creator, Finn, helped with it, but it's definitely Art's baby. And so this is my participation. Basically what I'm going to do is tell you the character name and then the appropriate tag, what it is for that character, and then the book that I've chosen. So our first one is going to be Dylan, aka Chatterbox, which is our main character and the point of view that the first 4 books are in. And the tag is a book featuring a character who can be a little bit mean but a lot lovable. I also want to disclaim that I actually physically own most of these books, but they are at the new house, not here. So I will be trying to show an image here of those books. So the book for this tag that I've chosen is A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. And the reason is because the character Nausicaa is mean and scary, and I love her and want her to run me over. I am terrified of her, but also I think she has a lot of trauma and is therefore really, really lovable. And once you get past the meanness, you find someone that's, truly a lovable character, and I think that that's fantastic. The next one is Danny, aka Marvelous, and that's Danny. And the tag is a book that caused you pain. That's going to be The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. While I knew what was going to happen by like 25% of the book, that did not change that it absolutely wrecked me. I both physically read this book and listened to the audiobook, and the ending wrecked me so much that I listened to it while playing a video game despite having already read it. It did make me cry. I am not a big crier. I'm pretty sure I read it on live and cried on live. So yeah, It was really good though. It's a good book. Obviously, V.E. Schwab has the capability of providing a little bit more representation in her books at this point, and that is a argument that many are making and have made for The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And I agree with those statements, but I still enjoyed the book. The next tag is going to be, is Elise, aka Mood Ring, and the tag is a book featuring monster girls. And for me, I have picked Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This is the paperback reprint that my partner got me. It's beautiful because the original covers were so ugly that I never read the books because I thought that they were bad because of how ugly the covers were. They looked like classic fantasy YA romances. And that's not what this is. This is very angels and demons, and we got demon girls in here, and I really liked that. I loved the book. I found it really fun to read. I am excited to read the next books in the series, so that's what I am tagging that as. The next tag is Emma, aka Goddess, and that's a book featuring a superpower that you would love to have. For this tag, I've chosen The Bone Maker by Sarah Beth Durst. That book is, you've probably heard me mention it if I've talked about some of the best, I believe it was in my top books of 2020, I'm not sure. But essentially superheroes after the fact, and they all have some version of necromancy. So some of them are able to use the bones and create runes out of them to make superpower, or make you like run really fast or be protective. Some can make constructs out of the bones. Some can bring people back to life. Some can tell the future from the bones. And all of that is very cool. I think superpowers focused around bone work and necromancy is incredibly fantastic. And that's something that I would be interested in having. The next tag is Lou, aka Glowstick, and that's a book with good trans rep. So this was hard for me because I picked two different books, kind of. The one that I officially have chosen for this is The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Takunda Hall. It is the first book in which I found gender fluidity represented in a fantastic way. It is the first book that I read with gender fluidity, period. And I found the way that it was written was really romantic and beautiful, but it also really addressed how that is and how it works for people. But some people might not agree that non-binary rep is trans rep. I am not of that mindset, so that's why I've included it. So my secondary pick would be Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, in which our main character is a trans brujo. So those are my two picks for that tag. The next book is Bianca, aka Wraith, a book with a character you'd go to hell and back for. And that book is going to be A Curse of Roses by Diana Pinguicha. It's one of my favorite books, and the love interest, Fatian, is a character I would go to hell and back for. I love her so much. I love her. She is rebellious chaos for our main character, and just the way that she approaches consent and also magic and also shame and all of that was really fantastic, and I loved it. I loved her story. I loved everything about her, and I would go to hell and back for her. The next tag is Oni, a book with a character much cooler than you, and my pick for that is going to be Beyond the Ruby Veil by Mara Fitzgerald. Emanuela scares the living shit out of me, but I love her. I think she's super cool, and she basically was like, hey, you know why I'm not gonna die? You know why? Because I don't want to. Checkmate. And like, that's so cool to me, to have that level of audacity to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I want to, thanks, bye. Like, I just think that's so cool. I could never. I have entirely too much anxiety, but I support her and think that she's fantastic. The next tag is Pillow, a book featuring your favorite fictional relationship. Don't bully me for this. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. That's gonna be Jude and Carden from Holly Black's Folk of the Air trilogy. Listen, I know, don't talk to me about his tale, I don't want to know. I love the idea of hating someone with your whole being and also being incredibly attracted to them. I have a therapist, so mind your business. I just think that that's one of my favorite tropes, and I think that they're written really well. I also like how like mean Jude is. Cardan is an awful person, but like Jude is mean as fuck. I mean, validly so. I don't blame her for being mean as fuck, but she nevertheless is mean as fuck. So yeah, that's why I picked that. I should have picked a sapphic couple, but unfortunately here we are. The next tag is Batty, a book with a secondary character / sidekick you can't help but love. And surprisingly, even to me, I picked The Falling in Love montage by Sierra Smith. Oliver, Sorcia's friend and Ruby's cousin, was a lovable part of the book, and I enjoyed his commentary and his participation in the story. I felt that it was incredibly well done. He has a little bit of character growth, and I think that that's important when it comes to side characters, and he just was super lovable. I enjoyed him so much, and I loved his relationship with Sorcia, so it was just really solid. And our last tag is going to be Pair, and that is a book with a family dynamic that you love. Now, this was I was torn for this. I was going to pick the Brooklyn Brujas series by Zoraida Cordova because that is like a genuine family dynamic. However, I ended up going with The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokski. That series is very found family, and they love one another, and it's this dynamic where several of them still have family, or they have relationships outside of the found family. However, the relationship of these friends is just beautiful, and I really like found family, and I think that's because it's very much how I feel about my own friendships. But they do jobs and heists together and in the book series, and some of them are romantically involved, which obviously takes a little bit away from the found family aspect, but I just really loved their dynamics together, and I just found it really beautiful. So that's it. That's the Cute Mutants tag. If you want to participate and you want to make a video of your own, I would super love that. If you want to participate in the read-along and then participate in the tag, that would be fantastic also. Don't forget, Cute Mutants 4, Sisterhood of Evil Mutants, comes out on April 6th. That is by S.J. Whitby, and they are amazing books. I cannot emphasize enough how amazing that book series is, and how much emotion and joy that it has brought me, and how much I can't stop talking about it. So highly recommend. Pre-order it, order it when it comes out, whatever you need to do, but super recommend, and I think that you should go and buy it right now. Right now, I will try and include a link down below. Hopefully future me remembers to do that this time. That's it. I hope you have a great, fantastic day and enjoyed this video. If you didn't, sorry. But if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the notifications, because sometimes you don't get notified about my videos and the notifications turn themselves off. If you want to read the Cute Mutants, or you're interested in any of the characters that I mentioned, just leave a comment down below. That would be really neat. I am going to go. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.